Hey, it's Angie from the Ageless Rebellion, and we are in my little garden today because I thought this beautiful old tree would really fit well to our theme today. I have a nature goddess here with me who does everything right in the in the field of healthy living, and she's my heroine in three things: in sweetness, because she's the nicest woman I've ever met in my life, and I don't know how the hell she does that. In fitness and in dating. Dating over 50 is for many of us a problem, so we hopefully get a couple tips from her. So Rebecca Brogdon has been the quintessential American woman. She did everything society wanted from her. She grew up, she was married, and she has 2 kids. So I wanted to know what changed, what happened, at what age did you make a decision to not be the woman anymore?
Well, in my 40s, I was married for 23 years, raised 2 kids, stayed home with them for about 10 years. And in my 40s, I started to feel like I wanted to go back to work and get something for myself again. I had previously done physical training in the 1980s. Oh my God, I sound so old. In the 80s when I was in college. And so when it was time to go back to work, instead of going back in the field that I had been in previously, which was finance, I decided to go back to my first love, which was personal training, because it's very rewarding to help other women, mostly that I train, get into shape and feel good about themselves. And it's very empowering to feel like you can help women feel better about themselves, as well as my own body. I changed my own body quite a bit during that time. So yeah, I just wanted to reinvent myself in my 40s, and I ended up, when I was around 50, going out on my own, and I'm 55 now.
You are the youngest 55 I've met so far. So you had heroin also when you were at that time, right? Didn't you, when you started
Jane
working
Fonda
out?
was my biggest heroine. Oh my God, I loved her so much. When I was 21 years old and I started working in a gym, I just loved her and just thought she was the most powerful woman, and I wanted to be just like her. So
And
yes.
you kind of dressed like her, right?
Yes, I wore the leg warmers and all that stuff that went with that outfit in the 80s. So I'm guilty of that.
You
yeah.
should have brought some photos. I just
No,
thought
no,
about
no,
it.
no.
I always wanted to see that.
No, I was the aerobic queen back then, for sure.
Okay. So you went back to business and started coaching people.
Yes, yes.
So Rebecca is coaching me, and she thinks I should come much more often because I'm not yet Sarah Connor. That was my goal, and I haven't.
Someday
I'm
we'll
far
make you
away
Sarah
from it.
Connor,
So,
yeah.
but you know, I have. Oh, don't I have them here? Oh yeah, in the back of us, all my workout tools like the dumbbells and the
That you
kettlebell.
use all the time, right?
Once a day, 10 minutes. That's my goal. 15 minutes. No, you said half an hour, right? Yeah, half an
Yes.
hour. Every day, half an hour. Then we make a little bit of progress, right?
Yeah.
And then, of course, coming to you at least 3 times a week.
3 times a week, ideally. But, you know, even if you came twice, it'd be better than none. Yes.
Okay. So, at that time, though, you were 40, you said? Were you afraid of aging, or did that start later?
I'm not
Or did
really
it-
afraid of aging. I try to keep it at bay as much as I can from working out and eating healthy and taking whatever supplements come along that they say I should have to prevent it. But I wouldn't say I'm afraid of it. I don't like it, you know, who does? But I try my best to maintain a healthy lifestyle to kind of ward that off as long as I can.
So what do you do yourself? How does a day look like?
Well, I work out every day, obviously. I will say this, I do take Sunday off. So there's one day a week I don't work out, but for the most part, I do try to work out an hour a day, not just through my job, but personal time. and I do weight training mostly, cardio less than I used to, and then I eat as healthy as I can, get plenty of sleep. That's pretty much what my day looks like.
Do you do any other things than weights? I mean, you do running or
Yes,
yoga?
I do run a little bit, not to the extent that I used to. I've cut way back on the cardio because as you get older, it's more important that you do the resistance training because you lose about 3 to 5% of your muscle mass with every decade after 30. So you have to figure by 50, you're losing about 10% of your muscle mass that you had, and that's when you start to look saggy. So you definitely have to do the resistance training, and now that I'm a little bit older, I'm starting to have to incorporate more of the yoga and stretching, just because then everything starts to ache when you get up and you're more stiff, and so it does kind of evolve over time, the kind of workouts that you want to do.
So if somebody is out of shape, over 50 out of shape, over 60 out of shape, do you have any suggestions of how they can motivate themselves or how to start to kind of get in the flow?
Well, the main thing is most people have to realize you don't want to just go too gung-ho. That's the mistake a lot of people make, is they decide, okay, I'm going to get in shape, and then they go and they just push themselves way too hard, and they either get injured or they just burn out. Or just doing something every day is better than doing nothing. And like I said, 30 minutes. If you just took 30 minutes out of your day and it's important that you do the weights. Just get yourself some weights, just some 5-pound weights just to start, and do like a range of exercises for the upper body, squats and lunges for the lower body. And some cardio, walking is better than a lot of things that you can do. It's better if you can get your heart rate up a little more through cycling or possibly running if you can. It's a gradual thing you'd want to work up to, or even like an aerobics class or something. But 30 minutes a day, I would say you need to do something. And just start slow and then work your way up.
I think it's a great idea to get a dog. I mean, my dog changed my life. I have to go with her twice a day, and then I
Dogs
choose
are
an
helpful,
area,
yeah.
where I go
Yeah.
up the hill, and then I'm
Right.
going faster and faster up the hill. So
Right.
that's a good thing,
Yeah.
right? So how do you see yourself in the future? What's your future plans? You said you're 55. You want to work forever?
I want to work forever. I love what I do, so I don't really consider it working. Like, it's not something I don't look forward to doing. So I could, as long as I'm able to have the stamina to do it, I would love to continue to do it and keep helping other people get in shape. I kind of am excited about the fact that I do train a lot of younger women who kind of see me as this Yoda-like person because I'm older, but I don't really look my age and I act young, and they really like that, and they're kind of hopeful that maybe someday when they get to be my age, they will be youthful. So I get a lot of joy out of it. So I see myself trying to keep doing this as long as I can.
How do you see yourself when you're 100? You have a vision?
Well, that's kind of an interesting question, because who do we know in this lifetime that's that age that you would consider really vibrant? There's not a lot of people. So there's not like an image that I can put in my head of what that would really look like. Hopefully, if I can maintain, the strength that I have, as long as I can, then I hope that I'm still moving around and able to do a lot of things that people that are 100 now don't do. I don't really know. That's a big question. Hopefully as young as I can be, and I hope my brain works. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah. I actually did something crazy yesterday. I think it's a little bit crazy. I booked 3 trainer classes for kickboxing.
You did? Oh my gosh! Oh Lord!
I always wanted to kick and do it. I felt I needed to have something.
Well, that's a good way to get
powerful,
anger out. For
Yeah,
sure.
isn't it?
Yeah.
And so I
Stress.
still have from years ago when I did some kung fu with my boy, my son, I still have the gloves, so you know I'm
That's
prepared
cool.
to go.
No, I
and
love
box
that. That's
it.
awesome.
Yeah, so I will
Yeah.
try that out. And I
Yeah.
thought it's, you know, you said overdoing it, right?
Yeah, just don't overdo it, because a lot of people, when they do those kind of classes, you might like get too into the punching, or you might kick too hard and then hurt your hip. Just kind of take it easy. Don't get too carried away. I mean, it takes time to develop the joint flexibility to get your leg up there and really kick, you know, stuff. So just be careful.
So anyway, I thought just now, I thought kickboxing, anger, kicking it out, right? I mean, frustrations, we all have frustrations, right? How do you handle all these different people? I mean, I have not seen you once in these 2 or 3 years I know you, that you were grumpy or upset or anything. You are so balanced and sweet. Do you think it's because you're working out all the time and getting all the anger out? Or how do you
Well,
be so nice?
it does help with stress, and I guess I'm just that way by nature. I mean, I always like to give everyone the benefit of the doubt. I always think that within all of us we have a good person, and so I see that with almost anybody that comes to me. You could have stress and be angry and just, you know, mad at the world, but I can see that person inside that's just dying to come out, and so I try my best to bring that out of people when I see them, and it makes me feel good. So
Yeah, we did that in the beginning,
Yeah.
right? 3
Yes.
years ago.
Yes.
She made me kick
Yeah.
things. You know, it was really good.
Yeah.
But I have come a long way
Yes,
with
you have.
happiness and balance in
Yes, you
3
have.
years, right?
Yeah.
So about, you know, sweetness and giving people the benefit of a doubt, is that also something you do, or when you did the dating thing? And she always told me, go out, do the match, try it.
Yes.
And I tried and I really couldn't handle it. And other friends of yours, you know, have bad experiences too. And she always said they're also nice. How did you do that? I mean, do you have any advice how we look at this world of male ego?
Well, that's, you know, it's, you know, every man is not going to be the same, obviously, but what I found is the dating websites did help. I was on 3 different ones, I think. And the thing that I did differently from a lot of my friends was I actually worked at it. Like, I did not sit back and wait for some man to come find me and say, oh, I just think you're wonderful and blah, blah, blah. I was actively on each site every day. I would devote a certain amount of time. And I did not hesitate to reach out and communicate with anybody that I thought looked interesting on the websites. I think that's a mistake a lot of women that I know make, is they just sit back and think, I'm not going to contact them. If they want to see me, they're going to contact me. But I didn't. I just, you know, said, hey, you look nice, blah, blah, blah. And I would be the first one to make contact a lot of times. And then a lot of times I would be the one that would initiate getting together for coffee or whatever. Because, you know, I guess because I'm older, I'm not afraid. I don't play the game of waiting for the man to make the first move. I just feel, what's the point? I'll just, you know, meet you, and if we get along, that's great. And so that's, I guess, the best advice I could give is that you should, you know, work at it, and you shouldn't hesitate to reach out and contact people and not feel like they're going to think you're too aggressive or that you're too desperate or whatever, because a lot of men that I spoke to found it refreshing that they didn't have to do everything to initiate contact, because they do get tired of it.
That's an amazing self-confidence, right?
I mean, what have you got to lose? I mean, either you meet them and they're a great guy and you get along with them, or they're not and you said, okay, bye, next one. Otherwise, it's hard to meet people these days. I think people don't meet the same way they used to, just out in social circles. It's harder. So,
you know, the self-confidence, would you say that you love yourself?
yes.
Oh, cool. It took me
I mean, it
a long
hasn't
time.
always been that way. I've had self-doubt. You know, I had a lot of unhappiness when I was going through this end of my marriage and changing. But
So how did you do anything in particular about loving yourself? Or
Well, I
did it
don't
just
know. Maybe
happen?
it just happened with aging. Like, you know, how you pick yourself apart when you're younger and think, oh, I wish this was better or that, or I don't like this about me. And then at some point, you learn to accept the things that aren't going to be perfect and work on the things that you can work on and be the best you that you can be. That's all you can really do is eat the best that you can eat to nourish your body, work out, to have the best physique that you can. And then you'll have, you know, peace of mind knowing you've achieved what level that you can achieve possibly with what you have.
So that seems to be a good thing then. So aging has something good,
Yes, yeah,
right?
I
It
think
has,
so.
what,
'Cause it,
confidence?
you
would
can
you call
develop
that?
confidence over time, yes.
And you give a damn about
Right, who cares about the stupid little things that we nitpick about ourselves? Because really, what I find is that we're so much harder on ourselves than other people perceive us.
Oh,
People
yeah.
are not looking at you and tearing you apart and saying, oh my gosh, she
Oh,
has
yeah.
this wrong and that wrong.
Okay, so what's wrong? Oh my
Nothing.
god.
It's the stuff that we put on ourselves. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, for a long time, and still today, I look at everything shiny and check that I'm okay.
right. I do that too. I mean, there is vanity involved, but it's. I think that we're a little more self-aware of our problems than anyone else is, and so, you know, I just think over time you start to accept some of the stuff about yourself.
So is that the best thing of aging, or is there anything else which you would say aging has?
Well, I'm
in-
so wise now, which is
Okay.
really a joke, but
Yeah. Okay, but so it's mainly the self
yeah,
confidence.
I think
and
so.
not,
For me, at least.
yeah.
I don't know about other people, but for me,
And what would
Yeah.
be the worst?
well, the obvious, you know, things hurt that didn't used to hurt, and you know, stuff on your skin that's not perfect anymore, and
Or did you
No.
feel ever that people treat you differently since you're over 50, or is it the same?
well,
Did you feel ageism in any way?
not yet, because a lot of people, frankly, don't really know how old I am. I don't announce it everywhere I go. A lot of the younger people that I work with in the gym think probably I'm about 10 or 15 younger than I really am. So,
Yeah, that's.
so you know,
good,
I
yeah.
don't really feel it yet. And like I said, I still have young women that come to me for training that are in their 20s, and you know, they respect the fact that I look and feel young, and they want to be that way when they get older. So far
So-
it's been good.
These looking and feeling young, it's not just about the physical.
No.
It's mindset, right?
It is a mindset.
So, did you ever? I mean, I felt older when I was 40 than now, because I felt more. I had to be grown up and serious and do all the things right. And today I feel like 16, and when I feel like 16, I just go and try out crazy dresses and have some fun.
Right, well, that's
and,
fun.
and so.
The only
how-
time I felt older was when I was with my kids,
Oh.
trying to raise my kids, and then I felt like a mom. But now I've moved beyond the mom stage, and now I feel young again. I don't know how to explain it other than that.
So basically, you
Yeah.
never lost that essence of who
no.
you are.
Mm-mm.
So there is really no age. I think
Right.
that's what I see
Yeah.
in you. That you live that ageless, just naturally. Where many of
Yeah.
us have to get there and find that essence and that power. You know who you are, right?
Yes.
And you just live that.
I do. I love going to concerts. I go to rock and roll concerts all the time. I go to the beach and tried to learn how to surf last summer, which was really hard, harder than I thought. And I like doing things that make me feel good. I don't really think about, oh, I'm too old for that.
Yeah, I think that's one of the worst things we can do, is just to have the thing in our head that we are too old. And we are not too old for anything, right? I mean,
Right. That's the way I see it.
If your body,
Yeah.
I mean, if you got to a point where you have to shape up again and rejuvenate, you can still do that too. You know, it's never too late to, you know, recover,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
And so, yeah, I think that. Do you feel? It seems to me that you are fulfilled. Would you say that is why you're searching for anything else?
I feel pretty fulfilled these days, I have to say.
You
Yes.
also met a beautiful man, right?
Yes, I did. Yes,
So
I did.
that helps.
Yes. And I did it because I worked at it. So I was the one who found him, I guess you could say.
Oh yes, really?
Yeah. Right.
Wow, that is so
Yeah.
cool. Okay, so I have to go and look for a guy on a horse.
That's right.
Yeah, so.
But I mean, you don't need that to be happy. If
No.
you do, that's great. But
I mean, you know, I have lived on my
I
own
was
for a long time.
happy just, you know, being on my own and dating around and going out with my girlfriends. And
I think it's a good
Yeah.
time also. It's a good situation to have after you, you know, are separated. That you really take the time with your girlfriend
yeah.
and by yourself and just
Definitely.
be wild, right? I mean, when can we be
Right.
wild? Then
Yes.
you know, that's the time, right?
Yes, taking girl trips to Las Vegas, I recommend it highly.
And then we can be that what men usually are, right? Like wild and crazy.
That's right.
And dating around. Okay, so I think, is there anything else you would like to add? Any wise advice?
Just, you know,
Oops, sorry.
feel good about yourself. Try to get in at least 3 days of exercise a week if you can. Eat healthy because it makes all the difference. You have to treat your body like a machine because it is. And if you consider your car, you wouldn't put things in it that would make it run poorly. Yet for our bodies, for whatever reason, we're willing to put things in it that make it run really poorly. So you have to consider the machine that your body is and think, what's the best thing I can put in to make it run as efficiently as possible and nourish it. And so eating healthy is huge.
Coconut oil. Thinking,
that's a good thing.
thinking
Yeah.
about cars,
Yeah,
right? I mean, not
right.
that I would put coconut oil in my car, but I
Right.
just thought, yeah, I always bought really good oil for my car. So why would you,
Right.
you know, do
Yeah, that's
some...
the thing is people treat their cars better than their bodies a lot of times, which just drives me insane. But
Okay, people, let's be cars, Ferraris.
that's right. You want to be a Ferrari or a Lamborghini, not a used Pinto.
Yeah, or a beautiful vintage English sports car.
Right.
Okay, that was it for today then. Thank you, Rebecca. It was really cool to have you here.
Yeah.
And I hope you got something out of it. Bye.